Oops. Hey, it's Dr. Rita Louise, and welcome to Thursday Night Live. Well, I would say I have a topic today, but I don't. So there's that. So I'm just going to play the introduction. Actually, all right, I didn't have a topic. And then I found this meme on Facebook that was really good because it kind of fit into the topic that I wasn't going to have. And so it kind of gave me an angle of what I wasn't going to talk about. And then I went to Facebook to bring it up on my screen. And of course, Facebook refreshed in that moment. So that meme went away. So I don't even have that. Anyway, so welcome to Thursday Night Live. Here we go. So, for people that have listened to this show and followed along on this show, I always try to come to the table with something positive and upbeat. Now, granted, if I have my, Born to Kvet shirt on, it means that I'm going to complain about something, but it's complaining about something that really has a point. And I have so much that I could complain about right now that it ain't even worth bringing up because it just takes away any little piece of love and light that might be out there for anybody. But I'm going to express it this way. And I know it's not just me, so I'm not taking it personal. These complaints, my drama is my drama, but I feel like collectively as a species, we have all been going through a lot of drama lately. And it seems like you can't just get ahead. You have something really good and positive that happens. And then, 10 minutes later, you get into a car accident or something bad happens. And then it just seems like, it's not just one crappy thing a week. It's like then the universe piles on more crappy stuff. And it's like, come on, can we just get a break here? And so that's how my week was. It was just like, I just can't even, I just can't even at this point in time. Which is why I don't have a topic because I didn't really want to complain, but here I'm kind of complaining about really not anything in particular. But what I want to say is if you've been going through this energy where it's just nonstop, not fun, because it has been nonstop, non-fun. So, you can look to the lesson in it and go, just think about how much stronger I'm going to be on the other side of this. Or you can look to the positive and say, well, I made it through this. I made it through all of this crap. And look, I survived and came out whole on the other side and, didn't drink 15 bottles of bourbon at that time. So there is a lot, that can be positive through going through giant periods of adversity. But when you're in the middle of the adversity, it's not fun. And I don't know about you, but I'm not particularly feeling all love and light right now. And we're just going to leave it right there. So one of my not complaining things, because I'm not complaining, has to do with what I can actually say. There's a lot that I was kind of feeling like I wanted to talk about, but I was feeling like my show would be downgraded or taken off of YouTube by expressing my feelings completely, which just adds to the perpetual, okay, it really kind of sucks. So this is a piece that aired this week. It's a Bark of Reason episode, and I think it kind of fits in with this whole energy and mentality of, you work so hard to have boundaries, and you work so hard to have a voice, and you work so hard to be clear, but then you're shut down. So anyway, take it away, Raylan.
Now, there's a silent gatekeeper rewriting the rules of what you're allowed to see online. It doesn't delete your posts, and it never sends a warning. It just quietly turns down your volume while you think you're screaming into the void. The 2026 platform updates rolled out some incredibly slick de-ranking algorithms. Instead of a messy public ban that gets people talking, the system just buries anything outside the mainstream narrative under mountains of hyper-amplified, platform-approved noise. And the funniest part? The moderation AI plays favorites. The exact same edgy phrase that gets an independent channel flagged or restricted is completely ignored when a massive, corporate-backed media outlet drops it. It's an asymmetrical game. When the algorithms shaping your reality are invisible, just talking about them feels like rebellion. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Has your feed been feeling a little too curated lately? Signing off, I'm Raylan McBride. This is The Bark of Reason. Stay sharp, stay free, stay cool.
So again, this is just one of those things. It's like, why do stuff if it's not going to get out there? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in a bad mood. That was like a couple of days ago. But I just am not sure what to say. There's a whole lot I would like to say, and this is the part that's scary. I'm not sure how much I can say and have it be safe without being attacked or some other thing happening. And I don't like it. I don't like it. And it's not that I'm scared. It just sucks every drop of energy out of your body. And it makes you just want to stop and go, is this even worth it? But then I keep going because I can't stop. So I'm on a little break. So that's all I'm going to say today. Other than, if you like the show, one of the ways that my show will grow is by you going and subscribing to my different channels, so stop it. It's just saved. There we go. So please do connect with me on social media. I post a lot. I'm present a lot, so I'm on YouTube, Substack, Twitter, Rumble, Facebook. I mean, pretty much everywhere. That would make me feel happy that I'm not just wasting my time doing all of this stuff to just be censored, basically. Anyway, so please do, so if you're watching the show, and even though I'm kind of rambling here a little bit, but you like me, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow the channel, put a comment in, even just by saying, hey, Dr. Rita, your hair looks great, in the comments, helps me and helps my channel move forward. Thank you. Okay, so I am just going to start because what I'm going to do. So, okay, so let's see. So Miss O'Hora is number one, and she says, hello, and actually, O'Hora, before I read your thing. So if you guys are hitting the same energy where it's kind of like, it just seems like everything you do is blowing up in your face and backfiring and not moving forward. And it's just kind of like you're trying to get things done, but you can't. And it's not because you can't get it done. It's because you can't get other people to do their shit. I would love to hear your comments below, and maybe something that we can talk about, and maybe we can help diffuse it, because if it's a thing, if it's something we're all going through, maybe we won't take it so personal. Okay, back to you, O'Hora. Hello and happy Thursday evening, dear Dr. Rita. It's a blessing to be in your presence. May I have your wisdom revelation on number 3, please? Thank you indeed. Blessings and cheer to you. And you sure can, Miss O'Hora. Okay, so let's see what we got going on today. Okay, so Ohura, that's your card for today. I wonder if it's going to be another one of those nights where every other card is a mass card. Oh, and if there's anybody new listening, okay, this is not my normal temperament on this show. But if you would like to get a reading, please go into the chat and say, hey, Dr. Rita, your hair looks amazing. Can I get a reading? And then give me a number between 1 and 3. And that's how many times I will shuffle the cards on your behalf. Okay, so these cards are called mass cards, and they show up when there's an energy that's blocked or you're in denial about or you don't want to look at. And I always look underneath to see what's going on. And I'm going to go with that. So it wasn't too bad. Okay, so Miss Ohura. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I feel like you are feeling a little bit stuck. I feel like you want to move forward, but it's just not happening. I feel like you recognize that you need to go inside and to clear your energy space and to meditate and like do those things, use your tools. I feel like you have tools. But it's interesting because when I look at that energy dynamic in you, like, okay, I'm Ohura and I'm closing my eyes and I'm trying to get into a meditative place and it feels really uncomfortable. And that you just don't even want to do it, and I don't really have an answer. In theory, this is something you should be able to move through. I think that there's something going on the planet, and I know I keep like throwing that out as like the panacea of what's going on. But I feel like when you go inside, it doesn't feel good. You don't feel good. The world doesn't feel good. And so you don't really want to do that. And that is kind of leaving you in a little bit of a stuck place. All I can say is this too shall pass. I think maybe just understanding that you're in a little bit of a stuck place makes it so that you're not necessarily beating yourself up for being or feeling stuck. And maybe that's the message that you need to receive. Ooh, I just flipped the cards over. That was right on top. That bad boy is going to get buried right there. Okay. And Doug's here, and he says, hello, everyone. Finally, early. Yes, you are, Doug. And then he says, Miss Rita, your hair looks fabulous. Thank you, Doug. May I have a reading with 3? Thank you so much. And you sure can, Doug. Bottom of the deck. All right, so Doug, that's your card for today. So Doug, I'm also feeling some nervous energy in your space as well. It's interesting because I keep feeling like you're getting this prompting to move forward, and I feel like there's a direction that you are wanting to head, and I feel like there's pretty clear, I'm going to say there's pretty clear focus on it. But what's weird is when I look at it, it's almost like everything in the foreground is kind of blurry and moving around, almost like kind of like that last card, like you're in a little bit of a bubble and that's over there. I feel like, I could see another word to tie to this would be brain fog. Like, you know where you want to go, but then in the same breath, it's like you don't even know what room you're in or what day it is. And it's just confusing. And no, you don't have Alzheimer's. You know, so you know, I just want to reiterate to you, I do see a direction. I do see a focus. I just feel like there's a lot of static in the way. You know, I feel like for you, if you meditate, if you tap, if you, you know, work with some tools, that you can get a bunch of that to drain off. But I feel like there's still going to be this kind of film. That's another good way of saying, like, this film over it. Like, you can see it, but it's not real clear. And I just want to say it is real clear. Just whatever this energy is taking away that clarity. Okay, guys, so this might be me, and I might be totally sucking today, or it might be you, and I'm just hitting it, and I would really like to know if I am hitting today. I would really, really, really appreciate that. All right, so we have Miss Punja, and it says, hello, Dr. Rita. Hope you are doing good. May I have message number 3? And you sure can. Okay, and that's your card for today. Okay, so again, another theme night. So you get really seriously, guys, you know, if you are feeling this energy right now, what I was talking about in the beginning, I so would like to hear from you. So Punja, I just get the impression that you have just kind of taken your energy and wrapped yourself in a blanket. I feel like you have, you know, the word I'm going to use is gone into self-protection mode, but it's not per se self-protection against like a specific person, but just like self-protection. I don't really want to deal with this, in a certain layer of nurturing that you're doing at the same time. You know, I don't know if you have been doing things that have been creative. I feel like that has been really good for you to help discharge some of the energy that you're holding on to. I feel like the world seems better, and the world seems more comfortable, and the world seems safer with you wrapped up inside your blanket. Okay. And it's Miss Amy. Miss Amy. And hi, Dr. Rita. Happy Thursday. Gosh, these Thursdays come so fast. May I have a number 3 reading, please? Thank you. And you sure can, Amy. Don't worry, it's not on top. At least that one's not on top. Okay, Amy, that's your card for today. So, Amy, I get the impression that you have acknowledged all the funk that's going on around you. I feel like your attitude is kind of like, screw you. I would do some sign language, but I won't do that on here because you never know. It might be this one of the 7 deadly signs you can't do on YouTube. Anyway, so I'm not going to do that. I feel like, and this is very interesting, and thank you for showing me this energy dynamic, that you are just saying, okay, whatever, and just going and doing your own thing. You're not allowing it to control you, or you're trying your best to not have it control you. I feel like, not quite like Poonja's blanket, but you kind of have put on, a bubble, a mask of invincibility, and you're not letting the energy in so that you can hold space, and I feel like the edges of your aura are like armor, which is good. I mean, I'll go with good, because I know you and I know that it isn't like that all the time, but I feel like it's appropriate right now. And it's allowing you to have some breathing room in your own space. So good. I like that energy, and I'm going to have to take that in and kind of meditate on that for a second, how I can incorporate some of that into my own space. Okay. Well, that's kind of rude there, Veronica. Okay, so it's Veronica, our old friend Veronica, who hasn't been here in forever. So I love that. Reading number 3. Wow, you didn't even say I had nice hair or nothing, Veronica. Okay, number 3. All right, Miss Veronica, what do you got? Okay, that's your card for today. So, Veronica, this is interesting. I feel like you're kind of in a period of self-assessment right now. I feel like you don't really care what's going on out in the world, and you're kind of in your own little world, which is actually good because I'm feeling like you're not really being affected. I feel like you have kind of turned your energy in and are looking at what's working for me, what's not working for me. Is this fair and balanced? Is this not fair and balanced? I feel like where this will manifest the most is in your boundaries and your ability to set boundaries, because if it's not working for me, then maybe it's not in my best interest and I'm going to walk away. And I feel like that's kind of the evaluation you're working on right now, is looking in and separating out, is this good for me? Is this working for me? And I'm not necessarily thinking that it's about a specific person, although it could be, but kind of in general and how you move forward within your life. So very cool. Very good job there, Virginia or Veronica. That kind of day. All right. And we have Pearl. Hi, Pearl. And she says, good evening, everyone. Dr. Rita, your hair is always gorgeous. Thank you. May I please have a reading with a shuffle 3? You sure can. Okay, and that's your card for today. So, Pearl, I'm not quite sure what is going on, but you are carrying this energy of, and I'm going to say victory. I feel like there is something that you feel like you have overcome. You are running around with your sword up in the air, kind of doing victory laps. How you might be experiencing it is, not as exuberant as I'm possibly saying it, because I don't feel like it's, that kind of a victory, like you didn't win the lottery kind of victory. But I feel like there's been something that you've been working on, trying to complete, whatever, but that you have been putting energy in, and you finally came out the other side successful. You know, and I'm going to give an example, and I'm going to be extremely super vague here. But I don't know if you guys heard, because it just made me think of this, you know, like Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, just had all charges against him in a defamation case dropped, because it turned out what they were suing him for the defamation all turned out to be true. You know, and what made me think of Mike is that, you know, he has fought through all of this, and after 2.5 years, 3 years, he has turned out to be victorious. You know, so sometimes perseverance is the key. So keep it up. Keep it up. And when you have those small victories, do the victory lap. You know, it definitely is good for the soul. So Ahura wrote, and I'm not quite sure what this is about, how heat affects our health and what we do. Okay, that's why God made air conditioning. Okay. Okay, and we have Benjamin Ursa Major 420. Hi, Benjamin. New name here. Welcome to the show. Nice to see you. And then Amy Surratt said, upbeat, yes. Thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about me. Thank you. Okay, so Dawn is here. So Benjamin and Amy, if you would like to get a reading, you know, just write in the comments, hey, Dr. Rita, your hair looks great. I'd like to get a reading, and give me a number between 1 and 3, and we'll go from there. Okay, so Dawn's here, and he says, hi, Dr. Rita, you look great tonight. Reading number 3. So Dawn, all right, I'm going to say this, Dawn, and not to you, but about you. Do not get mad at me. I'm going to keep this very generic. But our buddy, Don, has not been feeling well. And if you all could like send him prayers so that he gets on the mend soon, I think that he would like that. I mean, he might hate me for saying it out loud, but if you all could do that, because we all love Don. We all love Don, and he wants a number 3. And don't hate me for doing that, Don. But you have family here. You have people here that love you. Okay. All right. All right. And that's your card for today. All right, Don. Where are we going to go? Ooh. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to go on the, like, you're not feeling so good, but I want to make this piece of commentary that even though you're not feeling good, you have not gone down the rabbit hole. And I feel like even though you're a little cranky and whiny, kind of like I'm being a little cranky and whiny today, I feel like you are dealing with it. And, you know, I don't want to say accepting it, because, you know, that's not where I want to go, but you're dealing with it and not allowing it to control you and control your energy. And I'm going to give you this for it. And I feel like you have surrendered or are surrendering to what is going on. When you surrender, it doesn't mean you have to like it, but it does mean that you are not using all of your energy to fight it. You know, and you just kind of go with it day by day, one step at a time. So, Don, I feel like you're in a really good place, even though you're not feeling real well. Okay. Okay. And then, all right, ERRT Radio, dude, you're late. He says, hi, Dr. Rita, happy Thursday, and your hair looks great. Thank you, ERRT Radio. Then he comes back, may I have a reading number 3, please? Thank you. You sure can. All right, ERRT radio. I'm not going to explain this again because I already did earlier. I like that one for you better. Okay, so kind of a lot in there for you. So ERRT radio, I just get the impression that there's some stuff that's going on in your life right now that is really causing you to have to think and contemplate what your next step is. I feel like there is, and I'm going to say a lot of emotional energy sitting on it. You know, usually when I see that kind of emotional energy, it's usually a fear energy or an uncertainty. And then that's kind of the word that I want to use, more of an uncertainty. You're not quite sure, you know, like which way you should be going. And I feel like, okay, I'm going to go there here. So I feel like you already have the answer. And I feel like where some of the struggle and some of the uncertainty is coming from is that you're not really liking the answer that you have been getting. And so I just want to make that piece of commentary. Um, You know, and so maybe looking at what the not favorable answer is and seeing if that can be manipulated or surrendered to or made to work. I feel like it is where spirit is directing you, even though your psyche is going, no, I don't want to go, don't want to. Okay. Let's get rid of that mask card in the deck. Alrighty. All right, Yvonne. Hey, Miss Yvonne. And she would like a number 2. You're our first number 2 all night. You're our first not number 3 all night. Okay, and that's your card for today. All right, Yvonne, let's see. Ooh. So, Yvonne, it's interesting. I feel like you have been removing things from your space. I feel like there have been a number of, and I'm going to say goodbyes. I feel like some of it has been almost surgical. I feel like there has been some pretty black and white thinking kind of judgment on it. I'm not saying any of this is bad. My only comment to you is, well, you know, I was going to suggest slowing down or not rushing to judgment, but it's interesting because I feel like if you're not moving at this pace, then it won't happen at all. You know, it's kind of like when you're going to go clean your house and you know that, like, if I stop, if I take a break, I'm just going to stop and never get it done. I'm kind of feeling like that energy in your space. So I'm going to zip my lip, allow the processing to happen how it wants to and needs to happen. I feel like there might be a little bit of fallout from all of this, but I feel like it's not anything that you can't handle or resolve on the back end. Okay? Veronica says, love the smoking poodle. Well, you, Veronica, it's a poodle everything. So the sign says, don't tell me what to do. Okay, let's see. So Don says, that show this last month has been not feeling well. Nothing going positive with me, not wanting to even eat. I'm done with this crap. Don, I think everybody is done with this crap. Don, I really want you to eat something, drink protein powder. I said that to you earlier. And again, everybody send Don some prayers, and some love and energy. He could use it. I think we could all use it. And, if I was a praying kind of gal, maybe we could do a prayer, but I'm not a praying kind of gal, so I got nothing. Unless we want to do a rosary, which, that doesn't work for me either. Anyway, Don, feel better. All right, let's see. All right. Okay, so I missed something. All right. So ERRT Radio said, I was throttled on X for posting my sunrise videos every day. Huh? Okay. All right. So Benjamin, hey, you're back, Benjamin. Can I have a reading number 3, please? And thank you. You sure can, Benjamin. And I hope you come back. All right, Benjamin, here's your card for today. Actually, you know what? They wanted me to take this one, so I'm going to take this one. Okay, Benjamin. Okay, so everybody go stand next to Benjamin. Benjamin, you have some pretty chill feeling energy right now. I want to commend you for that. I feel like it's like that a lot. I mean, either, that or you got this total mask on that I'm not seeing through. So I feel like a lot can happen to you and around you that you are unaffected by. Which in these turbulent times feels like a great thing. So if you could pass it around, that would be wonderful. And I just feel like, one of the things you've been doing is just been really nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. And that is a great thing. Okay. All right, let's see. And then Doug said, in regard to ERRT Radio, and I'm going to have comment here. I'm glad you at least know the consequences of posts. That's at least a start. Doug, don't even get me started about censorship, because there is a lot of that going on secretly and behind the scenes that, having a post taken down is just one small piece of, and it's infuriating to me. And then he said, or should I say topics, etc. Okay. All right. Yvonne said, I just had a win and feeling forward motion. We were about to hit a Merc retrograde in Cancer, which can be emotional. Yay. Okay, yay. And then ERRT Radio says, I am at the end of my first major monsoon. Really? In Arizona? Bad rain, thunder, lightning. Huh. Okay. All right. And then Chris Karp said, feeling a bit overwhelmed this week as well. Amen. Then our horse says, Thank you again. Salute and blessings to you. Your words were absolute, accurate, one by one. Thank you. Okay. Unar. And it says, hello, may I have a 2? Thanks. You sure can, Unar. Okay. And that's your card for today. So, Unar, this is kind of interesting. I feel like you are tired of kind of sitting in the pack. I feel like you are looking for ways, I don't know if that's quite the right way of saying it, but for ways of expressing yourself or separating yourself from the pack. I feel this need for creating individuation and independence within yourself. I feel like it's, that idea and that concept is making you feel alive. And I feel like there's a passion behind that kind of pushing you forward. So I'm going to say, good job. Good job. All right. And Susan, if I had my glasses on, I maybe could read the whole thing. So I'm going to go with Susan. Hi, Susan. It says, hi, Dr. Rita, first time here. Welcome to the show. I have a reading number 3, please. You sure can, Susan. Okay, so for any of the new names here, and I'm just kind of apologizing. This has been like a beyond rough period, and I am just kind of emotionally exhausted. And so if your reading is not spot on, which everyone else in the room can tell you, they usually are. I'm just going to apologize. But everyone, just tell me that my reading was excellent and just totally on point. Okay, Susan. And that's your card for today. Okay. So, Susan, I feel like one of the things you have been working on is like looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I don't even know where to go with this. When I look at your energy, I just get the impression that you vibrate at a very high frequency. I feel like you are very good at using your inner vision to guide you forward. I feel like you have been kind of exuding heat that kind of keeps other people's energy off of you. I feel like you are being forward led, led by spirit. This is not, I feel like, not by ego, and you aren't letting it go, and you're just going. So I hope that makes sense to you. That sounded like extremely vague to me, but I hope that resonated with you. Okay, let's see. All right, you were there. There you go. And then Prayer's Edge. Hi, Rita. May I have a reading number 3? You sure can, Prayer's Edge. right, and that's your card for today. So Prayer's Edge, I feel like you have been going through stuff. I'm just going to leave it as stuff. I feel like in the last day or so, you've had a little bit of respite in there. I feel like you are finally getting a chance to breathe and kind of regroup and reclaim yourself. I feel like this time, again, in the last day or so, has been very revitalizing and invigorating for you and healing. I get the impression that you are wanting to, and I'm going to say, start something new, pick a new project. I feel like there's a certain amount of choice at hand. Take your time. I feel like there's not really a rush. Give yourself the opportunity to feel into the choice versus just taking the choice because you feel pressured to make a decision. Okay? Okay, and then Yvonne says, your hair looks so good. So I got it cut, and she kind of cut this all real short, which seems very weird to me. So I tried doing something a little bit different when I was styling it this morning, and I don't know. We'll see, because, you know, it evolves week by week, so I just never know what it's going to be. But thank you. And then Poon just says, thank you, Dr. Rita. Yes, I have been saving up my energy for not reacting to the triggers that people are throwing up my way. I'm trying to remain calm and composed in that kind of situation. Good job. And then Veronica says, I was waiting to see your hair before I said how great it looked. Oh, thanks, Veronica. You could just lie. Okay, let's see. And we have Ace. Hi, Ace. I think you've been here before. He says, hello, Dr. Rita. I have a number 1. You sure can, Ace. Okay. And so I'm going to say, here's your card, 48. That's your card for today. So Ace, I'm feeling a little bit of confusion in your space. I'm feeling like you would like for things to like slow down just a little bit. I feel like there is some concern that if you, if you don't make the right choice or whatever, or don't pick correctly, or, which is, I feel like that confusion or that major brain thinking that's going on, that you're going to mess up and then have to like turn around and do something different. I'm going to suggest hitting the stop button, and that might be all you need to do. Okay. Okay. And guys, hang on one second. Here, let me get you a treat. Let me get you a treat. Come on. Ooh, sorry about that. Raylan has not been feeling good. A little bit of my anxiety. And he hasn't really been eating very good. And he was at his food bowl wanting something to eat. So I wanted to just give him something because he wanted to eat. Okay. It's the first time he's really like gone to his food bowl wanting something in a couple of days. So it just feel better. Yeah. Send healing energy to Raylan because he's really not feeling good at all. So anyway. Okay. So Ohora says, I experienced censorship on Facebook while I was respectful and peaceful, just questioning legitimacy for political content and it banned me from all my activities on Facebook for 3 days. Girl, you were in Facebook jail. All of my friends and all the good people, so you have to just count yourself as good. You know, all the good people have spent time in Facebook jail, myself included. So that's how you know. Okay, amongst my friends on Facebook, that's how you know you're doing good, is you spend time in Facebook jail. It's like a medal of honor, I swear. Okay, let's see. So I don't know where I don't see where you're on. So Unar says, get well soon, Dawn. So get well soon, Dawn. And then Pearl says, thank you. The reading was accurate, although never in my mind did I think my life would be in the same conversation as that pillow man. Sorry, well, maybe you got to like him now. I don't know. All right, and Amy says, you are spot on again. I think the split is a real thing. Letting the negative people get on the other train. Bye-bye. Maybe see them on the other side. Maybe not. Their choice. Totally their choice. And thank you for the validation, you guys. I really needed it today. And then O'Hore says, Don Pardo, sending you healing, love, and light. And if you accept hugs, of course, hugs. And then Don said, Dr. Rita, thank you for that. I needed that a lot since I have no one here, family or otherwise, to express any love toward me at this time. Thank you again. But Don, we love you here. So, ha ha, ha 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 ha. Okay, ERRT radio. Wow, right on point. Health issues are slowing me down. I'm trying to move forward with my project for my backyard. Okay, thank you, ERRT radio. Let's see, Veronica. Spot on with my reading. I am weighing people to decide where they fit, where they fit, me or not. Good job, Veronica, on a lot of levels, and thank you. And then she likes my fingernails. Okay. Moses, hello, Dr. Rita. Hope you are having a great day. Well, you know, it's interesting because when I do a session with people, where if you would like to book a private consultation, please go to my website, since I'm bringing this up, soulhealer.com, and schedule time for a private consultation. But anyway, shoot, hang on a second. I got to turn that off. Turn that off. Okay. I don't know, Moses, it's been interesting, but whenever I'm doing a session or a reading, it always makes me feel better on the inside. So from where I was at the beginning of the show to now, I'm feeling much better. So thank you. And then Moses sending prayers to you, Dawn. All right, let's see. And then ERRT radio said, Don, don't be afraid to reach out to people you know on Facebook. And then ERRT radio says, I don't get how some people can post so much crap on X and they never get taken down. Makes me mad. ERRT radio, we could have a whole conversation, and it just leaves you feeling so beaten down. I got nothing. Okay. All right, so let's see. All right, I'm looking at the time. So Moses, I don't know that I'm going to get to you. So the number is about how many times I will shuffle on your behalf to do a reading, but we're getting very close to the time, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get you in. But come back and get a free on-air reading. I would love to give you one. I mean, especially your Moses. How can I miss that? Okay. Doug says, thank you, Rita. Excellent job on the reading. It all makes sense. Perfection. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to, because we're running out of time. Then Pearl says, I understand what you mean by one thing after another coming after. I'm naturally a very optimistic, bubbly person. But after years of blow, I feel grateful for the bliss of melancholy. And I don't even like melancholy. I just want it to stop. I just want it to stop. All right, I think that is, I think that's the bottom of the list. Oh, okay, so let's see. All right, Moses, you are at the very bottom of the list. So if you throw me a number right now, and you can get a reading. All right, so Amy's heading to the tip jar. Okay, ERRT Radio said, great show. Amy's heading to the tip jar. We all should go. soulhealer.com/live. Leave me a little something, something. I mean, unless you're going to schedule a private consultation with me, which you should all do. Okay, and Moses is going to get a number 2. Number 2. All righty, Moses, that's your card for today. Oh, I thought I got rid of that thing. All right. All righty. So Moses, I just get the impression that you are done fighting. I feel like you have fought a vigilant battle. I think that's the right word. I feel like, kind of like I was talking about at the beginning, you're feeling kind of emotionally drained. I feel like you just, it's interesting, and I totally agree with what I'm seeing in your space, that you don't want to fight anymore and you just want to lay over, but that if you lay over, that somebody's going to come like vultures and pick at your eyes, and that's not a satisfactory solution either. It's like you can't even lay over and die in peace. I want you to know that you are not alone, that I think a lot of people are feeling that way right now. And just keep on keeping on, and don't let them get you down. Okay? Don't let them get you down. And come back next time. Everybody that's new, please come back next time. You're pretty funny. So emergency healing. Okay, I only do 1 through 3, not 8, but it's time for me to go. Anyway, guys, I am out of here. Thank you all for tuning into the show today. Thanks for letting me kind of ramble at the beginning. I hope you all come back next week. Anyway, till then, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. Be blessed.